Sanibona, ngaphambi singene kwivideo namuhla, ngithi angithathe lethuba ngibonge i-support nothando nesikhombise lona lingaphezu kokucabanga kwethu. Siyacela niqhubeke nisiphote njalo ngokubuka amavideo ethu, ungakhohlwa ukukhomenta, ushare, ulike. Siyafisa ukuzwa umbono wakho. Sicela ke singene kwivideo namuhla.
All these people that played a role in shutting down my investigation, it's been investigated now, and we're going to be in court.
And what is the charge? They're defeating the ends of justice.
That's the main one. This is going to be a landmark case that we're going to have in court.
Sounds like it.
It will be.
You were the complainant,
I am a complainant.
and you got the National Commissioner to depose to an affidavit.
He's my witness.
He's your star witness.
Yeah.
Inkulumo oqeda kuyibona isho uGeneral Mkhwanazi ngesikhathi lapha ku-ad hoc committee. Kuthe ngosuku olulandelayo lolo ade ekhulume ngalo kwase sesibikela ukuthi amaphoyisa asemzini ka-General Shadrack Sibiya bekuvela inkulumo ukuthi uzoboshwa ngeke azaboshwa babesingazi ukuthi azofunani. Kodwa uma esechaza nothi nobe kuyi-search and seizure bathathe i-laptop yakhe namafoni awu-4 usho njalo. Baphinde futhi baye emzini baya la kuhlala khona uMinister uSenzo Mchunu nakhona bekuyinto efanayo. Baphinde baya la kuhlala khona uNkabinde lo Chief of Staff kaMinister. uNkabinde ke uthi ngokusho kwakhe abamtholanga yena, bathola umfowabo. Wasuka lapho wabize i-press briefing azisa abantu ukuthi uma ngase kwenzeke kube khona okwenzeka kuye, whether uyabulawa noma kwenzakalana, abantu ufuna bazi ukuthi uzobe efe ngenxa umuntu ofuneka ablamewe lapho kuzobe ku-National Commissioner. Usho njalo. Uma manje ngithi ngingena ku-X eyaziwa ngeTwitter ngizithela lapha kwepost yeSunday World esazisa ukuthi uPaul Sullivan uthi naye usabela impilo yakhe. Hawu. Sizofunda ke lo article. Sesale sesikhuluma nangalo lolu daba lolu olukhushiwe uNkabinde. Abantu bobathathu bashinto eyodwa efanayo. uGeneral Shadrack Sibiya uthe usabela impilo yakhe futhi ufisa ukuthi mayafika lamaphoyisa uma ngathiwa yena uzoboshwa. Ufisa ukuthi amaphoyisa afike mina angafiki ngo3 eintatha ngoba amaphoyisa ayakwenza ukuthi akudubule bese kuthiwa ubethatha isibhamu. noNkabinde usho statement esifanayo wathi amaphoyisa ayakudubula kubulala bese kuthiwa wena wadubula ekuqala. Wathi lokho uyakwazi experience anaye esebenza esiphoyiseni kanye nangesikhathi esasebenza ku-IPID amanye amakhesi ababawa investigator ayisho njalo. Ngapha sekuPaul Sullivan ushinto efanayo. Funde le article sizwe ukuthi ithini iSunday World emveni kwalapho sobe sesicaphuna mhlambe video lapha kaNkabinde bese siyayivala le video. Ifundeka kanje: Forensic investigator Paul Sullivan fears for his life after receiving threats following what he described as KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's incitement of violence against him. The sleuth has now formally asked the Madlanga Commission to protect him. This urgent plea was made in an official email correspondence to the Commission Secretary submitted alongside a damning dossier of allegations. The communication dated 10 October reveals a depth of O'Sullivan's apprehension. In one email, he writes, open quotes, due to the threats against me and the violence that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi has publicly incited against me, I will request that we have an urgent discussion to take steps to prevent an attempt at my murder, close quotes. This plea to the Commission is intrinsically linked to the escalating public feud between the investigator and the police boss. The situation escalated legally just hours after O'Sullivan's email was sent. His lawyer then launched a formal counter-offensive demanding 10 million rand in damages from the provincial police leader for reportedly instigating the violence against their client. The counterclaim doubles the value of Mkhwanazi's ongoing defamation lawsuit against their client. O'Sullivan's legal team, led by Ulrich Rooks, has demanded that Mkhwanazi retract his statement and issue a public apology within 2 business days. failing which the counterclaim for the damages will continue. O'Sullivan accuses Mkhwanazi of making false defamatory statement at the Madlanga Commission and a parliamentary ad hoc committee. The most incendiary statement, according to this letter, came during the parliamentary ad hoc committee on the 8th of October when Mkhwanazi reportedly said, open quotes, "It is time that this country must not sit back and be run by Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. And if the government fails to act on it, the men and women in this country are going to take it upon themselves to do something drastic about it." Close quotes. Baqhubeka abameli baka Paul O'Sullivan bathi, open quotes, "The false and defamatory statement about our client were made with the intentions of harming our client's good name and reputation and his dignity." Close quotes. Sullivan's attorney claims that the incitement to violence has already resulted in real-world consequences, including members of the public making threats against him. As of today, Mkhwanazi has a limited time to respond to O'Sullivan's demands. Failure to retract his statement and issue an apology by the deadline will likely escalate the matter to court, where a detailed scrutiny of the allegations and counterclaim would take place.
Well, the first thing is he's not a member of the task force. So why? Let him explain. Why is he wearing task force uniform? Why did he have 6 men on either side of him wearing task force uniform with masks on and brandishing firearms? It was a media presentation. So what, was he afraid of the media? What did he think would happen to him at that conference? How much did it cost the taxpayer for him to be standing there? And by the way, he had pretty much the whole of the KZN Provincial Police Service there with him. So they were all there on a Sunday. He calls his impromptu press conference and he lies to the media. And we need to get to the bottom of it. But I can tell you, he's triggered something which may just be the end of his life in the police service.
Just tell us more on that point, Paul. What do you mean?
Well, the reality is he wasn't authorized to do what he did. If Masemola authorized him to do what he did, the two of them can go down together, because I'm calling for a judicial commission of inquiry. I have today written to the minister, and I've asked the minister, without overreaching his executive powers, to arrange for Masemola and Mkhwanazi to be suspended until we can get to the bottom of what their conduct is actually involved in and where it's leading.
Ngikholwa ukuthi lo muntu wayikhuluma kanje kungathiwa namhlanje is fearing for his life. Lo othi yena washo ngomhla ka6 kuJuly what he is calling for the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Ngempela ngomhla ka13 the following week Sunday uPresident what is calling for a Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Lo muntu wayikhuluma kanje angaphinda athi is fearing for his life. Ngithanda ungayikholwa le ndaba. Kodwa bathi bayibonile i-email abe-Sunday Times, bathi i-email bayibonile. Kodwa ngikholwa ukuthi lo muntu wayekhuluma kanje angafika yena athi is fearing for his life. Kanti kunevideo engiyibonile uGeneral Mkhwanazi ukhulumile ngakho ukuthi wakwamuza uPaul O'Sullivan ethi wayingxenye yabantu ababekhetha umuntu ozoba national commissioner. This is very, very interesting. Ngicela uzwe la.
I thought it would be interesting to have a look at the commissioners of police that we've had in South Africa. And it's quite strange because after George Fivers, we've not really had anybody that's gone the distance. So we've had 30 years without a police commissioner that's gone the distance. And I mean, it's shocking. I think I'm not going to read all that out to you. You guys have got eyes, you can look at it. That is a fact of life. The last on the list is a chap called Masemola. Now, what's interesting, Cyril and I don't talk anymore. We used to be friends. But since he became president, it's been harder and harder to have a discussion with him, and now I don't talk to him at all. Because in 2022, in March 2022, his right-hand man, a fellow called Bajani Chowki, asked me, Paul, Cyril wants, he's got a list of all the people that he wants to appoint somebody from that list as the next chief of police. He said, can you vet them? Now, we've got an intelligence service in South Africa, but apparently for the president to ask the intelligence service to vet somebody, it doesn't really work. So I was asked to vet them, and we did a lifestyle analysis on all of them. There were 8 people on the list, and there were only 2 people out of that list of 8. There were only 2 people that we considered to be competent. In other words, they had the necessary skills. And secondly, that they either were not living beyond their means or were not involved in external activities. Masemola was listed as living beyond his means, significantly living beyond his means. He was having revolving door credit. Do you know what that is? It's when you pay, you borrow money from bank A to pay back bank B, and then you borrow money from bank C to pay back. And each time the value of the loans was going up. So clearly this man wasn't able to live. But more importantly, Masemola had a checkered history while he was a lieutenant general in the police, that he'd signed off on cars which were overpriced. The whole thing just stank. The whole tender just stank. And more importantly, he visited, I think it was Paris, on a police junket and came back with a Louis Vuitton bag for his wife, which was given to him by a police supplier. So you can work out that sort of person is not fit for the purpose. So despite me indicating that he wasn't fit for purpose, along with 5 other people on the 8-person list, Cyril went and appointed him. And when I inquired as to why he was appointed, I was told, well, it was kind of out of his hands, really. Then I thought, well, why ask me in the first place? Because all they did was give me the opportunity to provide evidence as to why he shouldn't be appointed.
Asidlulele kuNkabinde, kodwa ngiyakuvezela nje lezi zinto lezi ukuthi kuyo yonke lenkulumo labantu bakhuluma into eyi-1 ecommon. No, i-1 abayikhuluma ecommon ukuthi they are fearing for their lives. Siyazi ukuthi iMadlanga Commission inayo ipower yokuthi bavikele abantu. Inawo lawo mandla. Ikakhulukazi ama-witness wabo bangakwazi ukubavikela. Yani sizobona nje makulokho hamba insuku ukuthi kuthiwani. Kodwa engikwaziyo ukuthi uMkhwanazi angeke azaxolise. Lokho ngiyakwazi okusho ukuthi lolu daba luzoya enkantolo. Asilinde nje sibone. Ngifisa ukukucaphunela uNkabinde bese ngiyayivala le video. Ngifisa ukukucaphunela yena. Ngiyafisa ukuzwa nombono wakho ukuthi uthini wena kulolu daba lonke lelo likhulunywayo.
And interestingly, just to cover that, which I'm still gonna talk about in an ad hoc committee, the very same General Mkhwanazi was a very close friend of mine. Party together, come to my house, go to his house. A very close friend of mine. And when I was employed in a private sector, General Mkhwanazi knew where I was working. He used even to come to my workplace to visit me. He used to attend our NDF functions, that he knows where I was working. But now, because of desperate move to tarnish my name, he come and blatantly lie that Minister Mchunu found me unemployed, of which he knows very well. So that is what the situation is. And about fearing for my life, and myself, I am a seasoned and a career police officer. I know the field. And I know in the situation like this, a policeman plus or minus 15 come with balaclava. Why are they hiding themselves? Because there are instances, in my experience, where the police come and plant drugs in your house and pretend as if that drugs was found on you. I know the experience as a police officer myself, where in some instances they can plant a firearm and shoot you, pretending as if you shot them. So the fearing of my life, it comes in that line that why a police officer wearing a balaclava? Why do you hide yourself if you're coming to do a legitimate police work? Because you don't hide yourself. You introduce yourself, you produce your search warrant, you do your work. It means if you hide yourself with balaclavas, there's something untowards.
Mr. Kabinde, you just made serious allegations here of police planting and killing people extrajudicial. Are these things you've ever reported anyway? Because these are serious allegations you're making.
What I'm saying, through my experience as a police officer, these are instances that they get reported. And also, as an IP'd officer as well, those were cases that were always on our desk to investigate, as we were investigating the police. So those are things that I've got experience with.
Sibambe lenkulumo kaNkabinde. Kodwa ke kuya ngokuba interesting. Usuku nosuku kuya ngokuba interesting. Luyeza usuku lwakhe uzokhuluma kwiCommission kaMadlanga. Luyeza usuku lakhe uyokhuluma ku-ad hoc committee. Uyabona usuku olukhulu olwakusasa lapho khona uGeneral Shedrack Sibiya ezobe khuluma ethula ubufakazi bakhe his side of the story kwi-ad hoc committee. Lukhulu kakhulu lelo suku ngoba funeke sizwe iside lakhe. Bathi there are two sides to serve a story. Kufuneka naye aveze uhlangothi lakhe. Sizwe ukuthi uthini yena. Sesimzwile uGeneral Mkhwanazi, samuzwa uGeneral Fani Masemula. Simzwile kancane uGeneral Khumalo, kodwa manje sesilindele uGeneral Sibiya. Kulukhuni. Kodwa nje labantu kunento eyi-1 ecommon abayishoyo. Boyi-3, they are fearing for their lives. They are fearing for their lives. Asazi thina ukuthi kwenze njani. Bayazana bona njengamaphoyisa, njengoba yasho ukuthi uyayazi ifield. Une-experience izinto ezenzekayo emaphoyiseni. Uthi amaphoyisa ayafika nama-drugs. Afika waplanta emzini wakho. Kube sengathi atholakale kuwe, kanti cha afike namaphoyisa. Sikuzwa ngomuntu othi ube yiphoyisa. Sikuzwa ngomuntu othi ubesenzela IP'd. Kodwa bambuza umbuzo uthi uke wayereporta nalo nto leyo. Angeke simphikise ukwaba yiphoyisa, mhlawumbe ukhuluma into ebebeyenza esiphoyiseni. Ukhuluma ngesigaba sesibili uthi amaphoyisa akudubula kubulana. Aqeda aplanta isibhamu athi wena ubudubula wona. Ndayikhuluma le. Namhlanje sizizwe izinto ezenziwa ngamaphoyisa ebesingazazi. Kolukhona asethembeka ukuthi mayini kwithuba uzokwazi ukuzichaza lezi zinto naye akhipha ubufakazi bakhe. Uyabona ngiyawakhumbula amazwi kaProfessor Feroz Kachala wathi abantu base South Africa babeka umoya phansi. ICommission yothi ifika ngasesiphethweni noma ngasemaphethelweni ayo. Konke abantu abayothi bayakwazi babe bengasakwazi. Ngoba kusazovela izinto esingazazi. Kungenzeka indlela esimbuka ngayo uGeneral Mkhwanazi ijike uma esekhulumela uGeneral Sibiya ngoba sazi ukuthi uzothini. Asazi nominister naye mzukwane wanikwa ithuba lokuthi akakhuluma uhlangothi lwakhe ukuthi uyothini. Kodwa konke lokho sokuzwa mzukwane bathola ithuba lokuthi umuntu nomuntu akapresent ihlangothi lwakhe. Ngizwile kodwa ukuthi ngaMonday kusasa uGeneral Sibiya uzobe ku-ad hoc committee eParliament. Sizozwa yena ukuthi luthini uhlangothi lakhe, thini iside lakhe le story. Ingakho nje ngithe no angikureportela ngalento ukuthi uPaulo Sullivan ukhuluma language efana nesho uGeneral Sibiya. Ukhuluma language efana nesho uNkabinde. Ukuthi they are fearing for their lives. Kanti kahle kwenzakalani emaphoyiseni? Kahle kwenzakalani eSouth Africa? Mina nawe sidibane kwivile landelayo. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.